For the joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen and the Advisory Committee workshop on Wednesday, April 19, 2017 at 6:35. Can you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome back, everybody. Advisory Committee, welcome back. Hope things are working in the right direction. Mr. Tenzini?
We turn to this package first, which is the memo relating to budget revisions number 2. What I attempted to do here was to, if you look on page labeled page 4B1, which is about 4 pages in, I think, I took all of the various comments which I think folks had coalesced around at the last meeting, and Doug had asked, and reasonably so, just to see it all laid out on paper as to potential cuts that would be adopted, some restorations, some transfers, and I don't know if you want to go through that, because if that meets with your approval, you may be ready to move on to vote department by department budgets, which would then set us up to walk through the latest draft of the warrant.
Okay.
This does no longer rely upon the concept of the community services director, and restores the library, rec, veteran services, and council on aging to their previous staffing models. Or I should say their current staffing models.
And it brings the library to 30 hours.
It provides an extra 5 hours for the director and an extra 5 hours for the assistant. And I'm told that it will allow them to open up 5 extra hours a week. Yes. Now, exactly how that will happen, I think we gotta put the budget in place and then leave it to Jackie to sort out, because somebody working 10 hours may not in fact able to take 5 extra hours if they're working someplace else. So, but I am told, Doug, that it will allow the library to open those 5 hours.
Excellent.
I will say that I still believe that the community services team concept is something we should move forward. Functional teams, where these teams are meeting once a month, they're working together, they're planning together, they're building on each other's strengths or filling in gaps in each other's, and that's something that I will continue to chat with you about.
Right.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, can I ask some?
Yeah, absolutely.
So on, okay, I still have a concern that we have floating hours. I think I expressed, I don't think it's necessary. It's about $5,000. We should be putting that towards snow and ice or something. I think that's important, but that's just my opinion. But on page 107A1 for, I'm sorry, I might have to go backwards. The first page I come to is, so it says BOS restore, lump sum disallowed 2,500, but then there's still a 4,700 disallow, so it's not really restored.
It is, because if you'd looked at the previous page, you would have seen that that's 160,000, and that was the simplest way to show what you were putting back in, as opposed to me changing it to, as opposed to me changing the lump sum disallowed to 2260. The simplest way to show that you were in fact restoring that was to add 2,500 back in, because it was a $5,000 being restored to police based upon the consensus plan of last week, and the other 2,500 is being restored on page 111A1. This allowed me to illustrate that in fact those dollars were being restored. I mean, I could certainly show it the other way if you'd like, if that's,
No, I
if
think
that's better
just
for folks.
how my, so. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't print them, so it was hard for me to. And, how much is in the snow and ice?
That has been brought from $125,000 this year to, may I steal this back for a moment,
I don't remember what page that's on.
to $135,000. It's a $10,000 increase over last year. It's not all we would have liked to have gotten to, but that's one of those things that every year you chase, and you've got to be very careful that you can sustain it each year, because if for something goes wrong, and you say, well, we'll cut snow and ice, you've been down that road once, and you cannot deficit spend if you reduce the annual town meeting appropriation below the prior year's annual town meeting appropriation.
And so we have to be really careful in raising that account.
So you have to be careful as how you raise it, yeah. I mean, my target initially had been 140, but then we had some other things we needed to deal with. Truth be told, you know, you've raised it the rate of inflation. So at least theoretically, you are holding even and over time making some progress.
Yes.
On the new sheets that we were given, 201A1, that's just the supplies, so the other sheets stayed the same, there was no
Yes,
difference?
yeah, I've only
Okay.
given you revised sheets
All right.
where there was a change.
Okay, because I'm looking, and that's not 135, so it would be the difference between 87.5.
The others in your
In the book.
salaries, in your
Okay.
personnel, yes.
And what I would suggest, if you wanna put these in your books, I would keep the old ones in there, but like draw like a magic marker line through it saying old, and then put the new one on top. That way you can actually see the modifications and changes that we went through this.
Right, well, I can't do it now, but,
Yeah, I didn't reprint
Right.
the whole book.
right,
This
yes, that's a good idea.
frankly seemed a lot
Yeah.
simpler,
Mhm.
both in terms of workload, paper, and just plain keeping track of it all.
Any other questions, Doug?
The one question I really have is not necessarily on the expense side, or actually, I don't know exactly where the question falls in, but when you look at the overview sheet, the total general fund budget on the new sheet is 8,219,820. But on the old sheet, it was 8,236,820. 568, which is roughly a $16,000 difference. I just don't know why would that number have changed?
I'll have to go back in and check.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, so on
Oh,
the,
so I must not, I have 8251648, and then there was something, what do you have?
yeah, 8236,568.
Did we get an
That's
updated
the
one, and I
old
forgot
number.
What
to
page
put
is
it
Right
that?
here,
there?
the update.
Doug,
You did.
what page?
218A1.
And we'll, obviously, once we're through this, we will then go back through everything as far as you call as we can.
Yeah, I was just surprised to see that number change. I didn't expect that it
We'll
would.
go back through it.
Okay, what page are you talking about?
On the
4A,
overview page, yeah, 4A.
4A1?
and then there's 4A1, which is a new one. So between 4A
Oh, so,
and 4A1, there's a difference on the total general fund budget.
And then the new one is K2.
yeah, two, oh, okay, mine must be in here somewhere.
Do you see that?
Yeah, we'll go back through and vet everything between now and Monday night.
Yeah, so that was my question, and my only other comment is I would have liked to have seen the 19.5 go to 19 across the board. I just think that wouldn't have really impacted, services, but, I mean, Carter's, got the budget with a positive balance, so,
Great. Yep. Thank you, Doug. Diane, you have any other questions? I know you just got.
Well,
looking-
philosophically, I don't agree with the floating hours, so I don't think it's necessary. I think that there are other places. I think that we are top-heavy admin, and maybe not in the Board of Selectmen office, totally top-heavy. But there are, between a new admin in the accounting office, and then the admins that you have, and you can share some resources and do some cross-training, and I would much rather see, those funds, either go towards, some other service. I mean, we have, what, $130,000 snow and ice deficit this year. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna go under unless we have an extremely light winter, and, it's just really concerning. I feel like, yes, it would be lovely to have somebody cover for vacations, but it's not been needed before, and when you're talking about sustainability, I don't know, philosophically, I don't agree with it, so.
What was the floating out, the total floating hours? Was it like 20,000, 30,000?
No,
No,
it's
no.
it's like 5, so if we wanted to be at 140 in snow and ice, we could get there. But again, period, that's just my thought, so I have to really,
Okay, I appreciate
I
that.
need to stomach that.
Okay. Yeah, guys, have anything?
I will say I've produced a budget that has made no one happy, so.
Yay.
Good job.
So I may in fact have done a reasonably.
Well, if you're not getting people upset, you're not doing your job.
job.
Bevel, you have something to add?
Yeah, there's a few of us over here, kind of. We were looking to have a budget that had realistic numbers that would be more toward the collection rates, because what good is a budget if you're banking on money that may come, but doesn't always? This is why we have been broke for 16 or 17 years. If we have a collection rate that we know we can depend on, then you can build a budget that you know you're gonna be able to fund. We can't go no lower, guys. And I think people, if you ask them at town meeting, do you want a town government that can give you what we can afford? They will tell you yes. We've been a laughing stock of Worcester County, or all of Massachusetts for that matter. Yeah, it's wonderful to take a number that DOR says, yeah, you can use this number. But if that money doesn't come in, we're no better off than we were last year. the year before, and the year before that. That's, you know,
I understand what you're saying, Beverly. Basically, in a nutshell, most
but
governments.
this is the time to get it right, and we're not getting it right.
I'm gonna explain one thing. In most governmental agencies, no matter where you work, any governmental agency, if it's this place or if it's in town hall somewhere in some city or some big city, like, you know, wherever, you look at the projected rates and you look at the trends, you know, oh, we're 98%, 97% collection rates. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but you can't base a budget off what the percentage of this, you know, because we have to base it on 100% of the collected
You're
rates.
not gonna get 100%.
Again, but
Unless you
that's-
take a gun to somebody's head and say, pay up or else.
Well, that's how
So,
government
you know
budgeting
what,
is done.
if you figure on 95% and you get 97, well, then you got a little extra money that maybe we could have,
I've-
that's why we don't have a school. That's why we don't have anything, because we have no bond rating, we have no savings, we have no, you
I'm
know.
not, Beverly, I'm not gonna get involved with all that stuff, because there's
So
other things.
you have a budget that's based on a wing and a prayer.
We have a budget that's based on the projection of what we're supposed to receive for next year. Yes,
Which is the bottom line budget number total?
it's 15, the total bottom, 15
Well,
million.
I'm looking on page 6 and 6A, and there's a discrepancy. So are we going with the number 8,236,000?
The revised number,
Oh, I
you
see
can
what you're saying. I
see,
thought you were talking overall.
you can see on this sheet at 8,219,819. We will, once we have a final,
That's just
what we
the
think
new
is
one.
final,
If you look at the total number down.
go back through,
It's the same.
recheck all the math again,
All right.
given any changes that come out of tonight.
Okay,
page are you
so this is the handout that you just gave us.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, it's double-sided, and it has the departments, it just has the big categories. Selectmen, starts with selectmen, and on the reverse side of that page, it says 8,219,819
And
as the bottom line.
And remember, that's the town's operating budget.
Right.
Okay?
subject to final, going back through the math.
Okay. Because in the book on page 6 and 6A, there's different numbers.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a difference of 16,000.
6 and 6A.
Yes, because, and that's Doug's question, so we have to go back through and just revet this over the weekend.
Because Paul had spent a lot of time trying to figure out, well, we're broke all the time. Right? What did you figure out?
No,
Kinda
this is back to our original recommendation as to, using collection rates as opposed to the tax levy. And you've already made your decision, you're gonna use the tax levy.
Right, because again, that's what's typically, I say typically, I mean, from what I understand, and I'm not a financial expert by no means, but I can read and I can add, and I can understand. So basically, from what I understand is most communities and cities, they go off with the tax levy percentage, not the past history of tax collection rates. Because again, that's, you're right, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, Gordon.
I think, the concern and discussions that we've had is,
Mhm.
yeah, we're gonna use that tax levy rate, because that's what the state mandates basically would
Right.
be allowable. When it comes to expenditure, when we have some selectmen here pointing out that maybe we don't need to spend as much, I mean, it looks like, to me, we're spending, as close to 100% as you can. You're basically not putting anything in a rainy day fund, we're not putting anything, into anything that we could say, hey, we have a little wiggle room, so when we see some places, we're like, this, if we're only end up collecting 97% this year, which has been fairly, the paperwork I've seen is pretty positive for this town, which doesn't always get there. That's, even if, we didn't somehow said, okay, maybe the abatements are gonna cover some of that, it's not gonna cover that percentage. So it's still a concern that this committee has expressed. I think that we've definitely identified some huge issues, and I think that that's good, that those have been addressed. So hopefully, we we can see some conservativeness there, and I think we've seen a lot, so, so hopefully it continues
Mhm.
to go that way. So.
Yeah, I think you're right. But like in most communities, in most cities and towns, when you look at, you know, they try to stretch their dollars as far as they can for the services that are being provided. And yeah, we do have, you know, funds that need to be in different places, like OPEB, you know, like, you know, stabilization, capital, because our capital needs a lot of help.
Yeah, and that's the biggest fear I think we have, is that, you know, without the funds coming into stabilization, it's a scary predicament the town is in.
It is, but again, when you have revenue down here and services up here, there's only two things that can happen. I mean, we don't have to disillusion ourselves. Two things, there are only two. Either you increase revenue, or you decrease services. That's all you can do.
Correct.
I mean, that's it.
Yep.
I mean, in a nutshell. So the people want the services that are being provided. They came out openly and clear, and this is
Said
what they
that. No
wanted.
one ever said that. You say that. He says that. I'll bet you $5. If we take a poll at town meeting,
Yep.
you're gonna find out you're wrong. 'Cause do you think the people in this town like to be fools?
Well,
Paying money and they have nothing to show for it. We don't even have a bond rating.
we tried to restructure.
Do what you want.
We tried to
Hey, it's your-
restructure that, go ahead.
It's your budget.
Thank you. Yes,
I would just like to make a statement.
yep.
The audit exit conference is next week on Tuesday night. You will have all 4 years' audits. We are not in the broke financial state that you think we
I
are.
hope not.
Now, in the fall, once everything finally settles, there potentially will be some free cash that could be put in stabilization. We are already working on a bond rating. So I would just like to say that we need to have some sort of a positive looking forward. Yes, we have had horrendous last 4 years, but we have got to start at one point and start looking forward and stop all of the negativity.
Well-
Because we're not gonna get anywhere on that same path. That, I just needed to
What
say
I've
that.
seen too many
Thank you.
times over the years is that all we have to do is have the state cut our funding, and that'll topple the castle. We have to, I'm glad that we're not gonna be in the horrendous state we're in, because I don't wanna be there. But I would have been a whole lot more conservative the next couple of years, just to cover your butt in case something happened.
I would,
That's, you
you're
know,
right. Again,
I
that's why
think
we,
people want you to be conservative, they want you, this is a business,
yes,
it is a big business.
that's why the last few meetings we went through with the restructure, reorganization, we tried to push that through. Obviously, it didn't go through
I
because the
think
people
if
didn't want it.
we can only afford
So-
what we can afford,
You're right, you're right.
so it's up to
Anything
you.
else to add to concerning the budget?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I just want to make the point that the reason the town doesn't have a bond rating isn't because of this board. It was the gross and flagrant mismanagement of prior boards that put us into this situation.
Understood.
And we're the ones cleaning it up.
And I think we're doing a good job of that.
We are.
Okay, thank you. Yes,
At the last meeting, we came to a consensus
Yes.
that new growth should have been pulled out and then do the 2.5% for the levy limit. Is that correct?
no,
No.
no, we kept the new growth in.
No,
Was just
you took it out of
doubled
the base calculation.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, it was duplicated.
Right.
So that may be why
Okay,
that
the duplication
number
was different.
is lowered here, so it was added into one place and then,
And we've-
it was already there, correct?
And we've
then, but
given you
that
the
got pulled out.
revised
Okay,
revenue sheets to show
So
that.
if that's what you're
That's
talking
probably why
about,
we're
but
down.
we didn't,
all right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the numbers straight before we
I-
get started, so that we can just go and
Right,
get her done, okay?
Absolutely.
Now, if the new growth was around 60,000, the difference between what I have of the highest budget of 8,251,648 and the lowest budget figure that I have here as 8,219,819, that's a difference of $32,000, not 60.
Okay.
Okay, so that's one area of concern. If we duplicated the new growth, then it should be a difference of 60, I would think, or
But we,
thereabouts.
and then we adjusted the allowance for abatements to offset most of that. We had a $16,000 deficit entering last week, which we had dealt with, and I
Right.
think that's where that differential is, Doug. I'll go back and look at my notes. And then we adjusted for some cuts that the board would like to see and some restorations that the board would
Okay,
like to
so,
see.
all right.
And so, you know, when I get a chance to go back and look at my notes, if I have time, I'll construct the actual, ball on the pinball table.
Okay,
But I think that that's where it flows through.
all right. So the sheets that we have for tonight, we have the double-sided one with the bottom line of 8,219,819.
Yes.
And then we have the vote for each section, right? And the bottom line for that is a different number.
And the reason is
That's
that
8,236.
once y'all decide what you want to do,
Okay.
we will go back through and check the numbers, because we have to do at the end of the day a little bit of hand math.
Yeah, and-
Because the Excel spreadsheet rounds things off.
Right.
And while it rounds it off, not using pennies, it still mentally remembers some of that, and it adds $1 or $2 here and there. So we will have to use some hand
Right.
math.
Something else
The bottom line on this is
is
different than.
821989.
Right. and the
You got
bottom-
something different?
What's that?
This is what you're gonna vote on? I
No.
think,
No,
is
this
the
is-
voting sheet?
The voting sheet was the first
That
one you had
looks,
up.
So this
that
is all-
looks like the
All right.
one from
Last week?
perhaps a week ago.
All right.
Oh,
Then that goes.
okay, I was like, oh, do you have something that we don't have?
All right, well, that's, I don't know, that's, I just had all these sheets and I'm trying to make, there's.
Yeah, we should
The
make
one-
sure on all
The
of these
one
things
that I
we have the
handed
date.
you tonight is the
Okay.
one to work.
That's the bottom line, okay.
Thank you.
419.
419.
You can see the difference in the color, and you can see the difference in the heading, the printout.
So does everybody feel comfortable with the changes were made?
I mean, I can live with them, I would like to have seen some additional, but that's okay. I
Okay.
can live with it.
Other than the floating hours, you feel comfortable with everything else?
Okay, so if philosophically I don't agree with that, then I would vote no on that line.
Okay.
So, which stinks, but, I mean, again, I want someone just to really explain to me like why that's needed. I'm not seeing it. So, I'll have to mull that over in my head, so.
I got you,
Last.
I got you. You guys feel comfortable with the changes that were made to offset the budget? Make a balance?
I just feel bad that, we have a library that could be, open more hours than, just 30. I get that, I think this is, a more conservative, approach than we've done in the past, where all the numbers are looked at. Thank you. And that it's probably not as terrible as we think. I say all the time, thank God we have not had, any free cash, so that when it does come, no matter what it is, we have to be logical and thoughtful about what we do with that. But I guess I would just prefer, if we're gonna leave the floating hours in there, that they're not just like used up just because, I mean, I think that we have to take a really good hard look at what we're doing in our own board office, who serves us, obviously, and the community, and a TA. I mean, there's overtime in there. I would have left that, because we have a meeting and that person, currently it's Holly who has to be in here, but, there's really no room for an HR person, so I would like to see us look more closely at what should go to the accounting for benefits and I just wanna make sure that we're gonna do that.
Okay.
And if the hours don't have to be used, amen, they shouldn't be used just because they're there. That's really more my concern. We could take that money and we could give it back to the fire department. We could give it to the police department. Yes, we can't have, police officer, I've spoken to them, everybody knows that we need one, and I see about
Yes.
sustainability, we don't have last year's numbers because we moved a lot of things around. I think, building and grounds and all that is good, but to look forward for next year, I think that, me personally, I would have taken the lowest rate for health insurance and then kind of looked at, I think that, there are still some people who are like some of the lowest paid employees around. You know, we have a $10,000, is that still there, a merit increase?
It is.
Budget? Well, I hope that this year, the board, you know, I understand that it's the town administrator's job to do that, but what happened last year was a complete fiasco, with raises, and the people, you know, say, and have said to me, usually, you know, they're like, raise my taxes, I would rather have more services. But they don't want people to have raises when we're sitting, you know, where we're arguing about, you know, a merger and this and that. I just really wanna make sure that we look at that hard as far as what's gonna happen, and that we, you know, we have an opportunity to discuss that. And, you know, thank gosh that all the people come, write to me, call, I can only speak for myself, and that, you know, thanks Carter for reworking all that, and that we can, I wanna pay taxes to have the services that I expect, that I go to in any other community, a library, a COA. Yeah, I think that Jackie and Diana, cause you're the people in those jobs, should kind of work together. I've asked Jackie if, you know, could you have some outreach to the school? Could that, you know, take place? There's probably a million ideas out there, but I don't wanna see those used unless they absolutely have to be used, and that's just my opinion.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think that the farther apart we all are, it's not good for the, you know, community. I'm thankful that we've had, you know, the time to look at these things together and have, those thoughtful discussions. Thank you, advisory committee, and, you know, thanks for letting them come. The people have spoken, so, you know, I'm sure I'm just rambling, but I
That's
just,
okay, thank you,
you know.
I appreciate it. Sit down. Okay, so, if you feel comfortable, we can start voting line by line. Advisory committee, have any other questions? Not yet?
Just one last statement on the whole revenue
Mhm.
thing, okay? I agree. I think you folks have done a remarkable job, and we're on the right track. We're making good progress. I would think this budget package could look at your actual revenues, revise that worksheet that you've got, and that would help display exactly that things are, you know, in a recovery mode, and getting better. So I would like to see a revised set of those actual revenue numbers, because the current version that we're showing still double counts certain amounts in there for the prior years. There's a double count on the new growth and a debt exclusion in the grand totals. Okay, so in
I'm
the
sorry,
budget,
Paul,
and even in the
one that goes
revised
across
version.
this way?
Yes.
Okay.
If we look at those actual numbers, 2012 to 2016, we're double counting some of those amounts. And Kelly's explained that was, you know, we wanted to display what the trends have been in those accounts.
Right.
And that's fine, but you are including it in your grand totals. And I think that's misleading and confusing
Okay.
when we just depict it that way. Same with the ambulance receipts. In prior years, you're not including it in your grand total. In the current ask, you are. So there's just inconsistencies in that information.
Well, this was the first year we're doing that.
Yeah, I think I asked Carter, about this because that is the first, because we've changed to, an ALS, and it is, you know, you have a firefighter, EMT, paramedic, you know, you can't, I'm gonna separate this pay from here, and I think we're still using the same fund, it's going into its own account, and, you know, Chief Dickey can't just call up and go, so I want another 50,000, right? Because that's not what was appropriated. So it is a different way to look at it, and I think even for me, it was hard I had to go backwards and try to add everything up in last year's budget. And that's just my way of thinking, not everyone else's. So I totally get what you're saying. And I believe from what Gordon had said to me, that was all definitely given to you and that you felt a little bit more
Yeah,
comfortable
not-
with that, right?
not
So it's just how
questioning
you
it.
show it to the public?
It's just
Yeah,
on
I would
how
like
it's
to do the
displayed.
same thing.
Yeah, because it's hard to make that, or show your run rates, how the revenue has
Right.
progressed from year to year, because you've got different things that are
Well,
combined.
And I'm gonna tell you, there's something else coming down the pike, which is
Okay.
called the potential EDIC of Templeton if it gets voted in, which is the Economic Development Committee, which also has its own separate account, similar to like the ambulance and streets receivable. I
Okay.
mean, we get grant money and stuff that, we're kind of like together, but it's kind of like separate. It's
Okay.
really, I'm still trying to wrap my arms around it as well, But it's similar to like ambulance receipts receivable. I mean, so we see it, but we can't touch it. It keeps rolling over too, so it doesn't like stop going to a general fund and it stays there. It's actually a totally separate account, kind of like ambulance receipts receivable.
Okay,
So that's coming down the pike as well. You will see that soon as well.
that's fine. And then the other thing I think we need to come to agreement on is what is our actual tax collection rate? Okay, the philosophical difference apart, whether we use the full tax levy or some collection rate, I still think we need to come up with something that we're all comfortable with and we can, we're certain, we've got the benefit of the audit now. Let's use audit information if it's available in those comparisons. But,
That way we're using real numbers?
well, it's just that we
Closer
have
to
different
real,
numbers.
yeah.
The numbers, Carter, that was in your analysis that you did, those collective amounts are different from what you've got in the budget book. And they're different from what we've seen in year-end reports for 2016. So again, it's just, let's come up with a constant set of revenue numbers that we all agree are real.
Okay.
So what happens
Thank
when
you,
you have
Bob.
an engineer?
No,
He
that's
finds the picky stuff,
good.
but
And
that's
we
good.
didn't really have, this joint collaboration that we're having now on the expense side, which I think has been fabulous, and we have done a great job together. We didn't really have that collaboration on the revenue side this year. So I think if we start the process perhaps a little earlier in FY 18 for 19, and we do have these joint collaborations on the revenue side as well as the expense side, we'll even be in a better situation come next year's town meeting.
Mhm. Yes, Kelly.
Well, and just to interject, this is the first year we've done it in the way we've done this.
Mhm.
And based on what I've learned from both boards, I will do this differently next year, so it will be even clearer as to, so when you see the personal property, you'll see the breakdown of these are all the prior years, this is the current year, to make things clearer going forward, so that it will be more detailed and to give us more information.
Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that.
Can I just interject? I
Yeah.
think that we might not always agree with one another, but I think that, Paul, you did a lot of work and a lot of research, and I can say that, we may not see this right now, but I think that there's a lot of merit. And anytime people say something, I go to accounting, and I just say, can you just explain this to me? I can't really say that, I understand everything that you're saying, but I appreciate what you've done. Thanks.
I appreciate all the support that we've gotten. I know I've been sounding very critical of folks who put some of this material together, yet they've been very helpful in providing the information and answers and everything, so it's, I agree, we're on the right track.
We can do everything, if we can do things better, so the town can be better, everybody wins. Because we don't wanna walk out of town meeting with a budget that's a disaster and go through a horrible year again. I don't wanna go there, I'm too old, don't need it.
I think that we're not going to, I have more faith this year than I did. I feel like I was blindsided at, afterwards with, oh, this number wasn't right and that number wasn't right. And I think that, Carter's taken a good, hard look at that, along with really, for me, going through every single line, and I know for an entire 8 hours, I was a thorn in Carter's side. I'm sorry, but it's good for me to be here, helping out here. I hear what you say. I listen to all of you, so I look, but, I hope, I said this in the meeting before where I kind of lost my mind a little bit, but I don't want to have that fight on town floor. It's not good for the community, and that to really, you have your opinions, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do, and we're here doing our job, but I hope that the community, it's for the benefit of them, period.
That's
So
right.
that's really how I see that.
That's who I work for, hey, who you work for?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
John?
I think there's one thing we have to keep in mind here, and that's that when we go into, a budget is not set in stone. A budget is basically an estimate of what our revenues and expenses are going to be in the coming year.
Yes.
And when we get to the annual town meeting, we're not necessarily gonna have hard and fast figures on what our revenue is. Typically, the state budget isn't done by that time, so we don't know, and other things too. That's why every year we have a fall town meeting to make adjustments.
Right.
So too much hair splitting now is really not that necessary.
Understood. Thank you so much. Thanks. All right, so do we feel comfortable with the numbers so we start doing some of these departments? Voting on some of these departments to move forward?
I am.
You're in? Mr. Columbus? You. Start voting on some of these departments.
All right, I'm sorry, I
We'll
didn't.
start voting on some of these departments
Okay.
on the budget, thanks. You guys feel okay with that? What'd you say?
I couldn't hear what you said.
So, can I just ask, Carter, are these numbers different from, like here it says final amount, like, are you saying if we wanted to make even more changes? I'm not saying I'm asking you what's supposed to,
Please,
I'm
God,
not.
But yes, I mean, when
Was
I,
this supposed to, what was this column
so,
supposed to be for?
that is,
I think I'm
column
asking
is
some
in
of the same
case
questions that
someone
you-
makes a motion to
Oh.
have a different number, and that vote is on that number, I need to be able to track what
Okay,
that
but
lower number is.
This matches the new sheets and the,
Yes.
Okay.
Again, subject to that very last final
fine.
math, yes, these all should tie out. And Doug, that 16,000 variance is in fact that deficit. When we found the mistake on the double count of the new growth, we had a $16,000 and change,
So the 219
which
is
I'd already
correct.
had to wipe out with the first round of amendments. And then we'll double check that, but I am 99.99% certain that's
That the
exactly where it is.
8219 is right?
Yeah, and this
Okay.
number here
Yes.
ties back to the overview sheet. So that's-
It will, and as I said, it's actually gonna look about $2 different across because of the way Excel just
Yeah,
rounds, but,
yeah,
and then carries things through.
yeah.
And I may end up, in some towns, I've had to put a footnote on, that rounding errors within $5 will just be correct.
Okay. You guys feel comfortable with this now? Okay.
So, we're gonna do this line item correct, so you need a motion and a second.
That allows
So, yep,
folks to
to-
recuse
Mhm.
themselves.
I make a motion to approve, the selectmen budget for $258,750.
A motion and a second?
Second.
A motion and a second, any discussion concerning the 258,750? I see none. John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes,
And I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to approve the advisory committee budget for $35,520.
A motion of 35,520, have a second?
second.
I have a motion and a second, any discussion concerning the advisory committee?
The amount is below recommended amounts by the state.
Understood.
And this could definitely make it difficult if the town were to run into something. I know that, I'm sure you've looked at this, but I just want again to mention that, this is really, again, putting the town in a hard position if something comes up short.
Understood. And we are looking forward, though. So good things are on the horizon.
Yeah.
Thank you for that comment.
But thank you, though.
Then maybe we should put it to 0, you're saying?
No, don't do that. Not
Well,
that
you
good.
said the
Lord,
good
no.
things are
Not
on the
that good.
horizon.
I mean, good things will always come forward. Be positive, we're going forward, we're not going back in time. We have to move and project ourselves
This is in
forward.
case something breaks and it needs to be fixed.
So 35,520, I have a motion, a second, have any discussion?
Yes, sir. That amount includes the reserve fund, is that correct?
Excuse me?
That amount includes the reserve fund?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You're correct.
I
Any other
know.
discussion?
Yeah, most of that is the reserve fund.
Right.
Other than that, it's just advertising for our pre-town meetings, I think, and that's about it.
Right.
What do you need for advertising, do you know?
Any other discussion?
Trying to figure out what we spent for advertising
Well,
this year.
we went through that earlier.
Oh, okay, all right.
I see none.
Yeah,
John?
just, I think, a question wasn't there a problem with the lack of funding for advertising before? Was that?
I don't think so.
I think that was a couple years ago when we had a lot of special town meetings.
Okay.
I have to look to see if this was the one that was submitted. I imagine it was, so.
No other discussion? John?
Yes?
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to approve the town accountant budget for $138,500.
Okay, I have a motion for a second.
Second.
A motion is second.
Who seconded?
Julie?
Julie seconded?
Yes.
I'm just writing, thank you.
Yes. Any other discussion concerning that? None, John?
Yes?
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
I'll abstain.
And I vote yes.
I make a motion to approve the assessor budget for $87,600.
A motion of a second.
Second?
Seconded by John. Any other discussion? See none? Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to approve the treasurer collector budget for $131,750. Second.
A motion is, and a second, thank you. Any other discussion concerning that? None? John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to approve the IT budget for $68,000.
A motion of a second.
Second.
A motion second. Have any discussion? I see none. John?
Yes?
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
Who's the second on that, please?
John Columbus.
No, it was Julie on that one.
Julie,
It was Julie.
Okay, so you're gonna have to tell me because I don't know. Did
Sorry.
I mix the last
I
two
will
up?
tell you. I'll tell
That's
you.
you mixed
fine.
the last
It's
two
all
up,
right.
Diane, I
It's
wrote it
okay,
down,
no
so-
problem. Happens when you're deaf.
Okay, town clerk?
I make a motion to approve the town clerk budget of $98,150.
A motion of a second.
Second?
John Columbus, your second. Any other discussion? I see none. John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to approve the police and dispatch budget, oh my God, I can't talk. $1,299,250.
You have a motion of a second?
Second.
A motion second. Julie seconded that. Any other discussion concerning that? John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to approve the fire and EMS budget of $569,000.
Okay. Motion of a second.
Second?
John Columbus seconded. Any other discussion? I see none. Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Uh,
And I vote yes as well.
Make a motion to approve the emergency management budget of $1,000.
I have a motion of a second.
Second.
I have a second by Julie. Richard? Any other discussion concerning the emergency management? I see none. John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
Make a motion to approve the development services budget of $152,250.
We have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
I have a second by Julie Richard. Any other discussion? I see none. John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to approve the highway budget for $575,750.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Julie Richards seconded that motion. Any other discussion concerning highway? I see none. Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to approve the building and grounds budget for $268,000.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
I have a second by Doug. Motion. Any discussion concerning highway? Building and grounds, excuse me. Bless you. I see none. John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to approve the snow and ice budget of $135,000.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Julie seconded. Any other discussion concerning snow and ice?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What's the current year's snow and ice budget?
This current year's was
What
one
was the appropriation?
120. Was it 120?
125.
125.
Okay,
So we went up to 10,000,
that's good.
2.5%. Any other discussion? None. John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to is that 30?
Yes.
20,000 for the salary, 10,000
Oh,
for the
sorry.
benefits,
Thank you.
and,
Sorry.
you know, any expenses,
Got it.
we'll just have to
Yep, I got it. I
figure
make
it
a,
out.
sorry, I make a motion to approve the veterans service budget for $30,000.
I have a motion and a second.
Second.
I have a second by John Columbus. Any other discussion concerning the veterans budget? I see none. John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
I abstain.
I make a motion to approve approve the senior services budget of $202,000.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Motion is second. Do I have any discussion? I see none. John?
Yes.
Julie?
No.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
I abstain.
And yes.
I make a motion to approve the library budget of $78,875.
A motion of a second.
Second.
Okay, John Columbus, second. Any discussion concerning the library? I see none. Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Julie?
Abstain.
John?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to approve the recreation and culture budget of $14,502. Does that mean that the Arts Council has to go to, like, their budgets together, so they have to talk to each other to get money?
Yeah, they have to talk to each other.
Okay.
Communication's key. Okay, so I have a motion. Do I have
It's
a
just never
second?
been put together before, so.
No?
I'm sorry, there was my motion. I should stop talking. Go ahead,
Do
who
I
was
have
the
a
second?
Second.
I have a second by Julie. Any other discussion concerning the recreation and culture?
Okay.
None?
What?
Yeah, but-
No, no,
Okay.
I was, had a mouthful of water.
understood. Okay. Motion second. Any other discussion? I see none. Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
Make a motion to approve debt service of $1,285,921.
I have a motion of second for the debt service. I have a second by Julie Richard. Any other discussion?
Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Julie? Do you have any discussion? See none? John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Save the best for last.
You should recuse yourself.
John, I can't make the next motion, I'm sorry.
Okay, understood.
So someone else has to do it.
I'll make a motion that we approve the insurance and benefits for $2,790,000.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any other discussion concerning benefits and insurance?
I just wanted to make
Yes.
sure, because why are you recusing yourself?
Because,
It's not,
That's
doesn't
not our
matter.
place.
Right, but I just, if people are involved in that, as far as, I just wanted to make sure that that was not
Right,
okay,
and
that was okay.
We do, you need to, I understand.
you have to recuse
Yes,
yourself too.
I'm withdrawing my motion.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Okay, I withdraw the motion
It's the
of the
prerogative of the board members to
insurance and the
determine
benefits
their
of $2,790,000. I need someone to make the motion,
I'm
please.
sorry, can I hear what Carter just had to say?
It's up to the selectmen to,
It's up to the individual board member to determine whether or not they are in conflict
or
and
not.
recuse themselves.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the insurance and benefits at $2,790,000.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? I see none. John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
This puts me on.
You can simply not vote. You have a quorum of 3 that is able to vote. If you feel you're in conflict, you abstain. And 2, you just don't vote, and a 2-0 vote actually carries the day.
There's no votes against it, so if everyone else abstained, the 2 in favor would carry.
I would have to abstain. So we have 2 yeses.
Somebody has to rejoin the board, the person with the least conflict.
Me. It would probably be
Then-
me then.
Yeah.
It's my parents. I didn't
That's,
realize.
that's the strongest, actually. So
Me.
the only item that the Veteran Services Director draws out of the insurance and benefits line item is their Medicare coverage.
Right.
And that's town council's advice. The folks with the strongest conflict recuse themselves. You're left with 3 people,
At the end.
2 people who can vote, 1 actually. The folks with the least conflict rejoin the board. 2 vote, 1 doesn't, and you have an approved budget.
Who has the least conflict? You?
Well,
John has the least conflict?
Yes.
I guess I would have the least conflict. Okay, so then, I would have to,
And Doug abstained,
take
you-
that. I'll take my abstain away, and I will actually vote yes on the $2,790,000.
And that should pass muster.
Thank you. Okay, we have questions with that?
It's always challenging in a smaller community.
Understood. Yes,
Were there abstentions?
there was 2.
Okay,
Do 2.
Me and Doug.
okay, well, I didn't hear anyone abstain, so I wasn't sure.
Abstain, right, because you didn't call on us, abstain. And Doug abstains, I think because we said,
Okay.
you know, I was like, oh, do I have to recuse myself? So I abstained. Did you
Okay.
abstain?
Yes,
Can you just state that for the record?
Yes.
Thank
I
you.
abstain from the vote.
Thank you. So 2 abstains and 3 voted yes. Great. Can we move on to the,
Mr. Chairman, I
yes.
believe that we're supposed to vote the bottom line number too.
we can, yes, we can vote on the bottom line, have a motion on that?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
That will put 4 of you that can't
Can't
vote.
do
No, 'cause that's why we have, that's why we
That's
have
the
a
whole
vote
point of doing
breakdown.
line by line.
All right. Never
So
mind.
Thank you so much.
The budget simply becomes a tally of the individual line items, John.
All right, great, can we move on to the warrant?
So, we're still in draft, but this is the latest draft that we have. We do have that we distributed, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
And I will give this until Monday night for folks to ponder. We do have an amendment to the fiscal 2017 operating budget amendments. These are shortfalls that we are pretty certain will happen. And they are accounts that we are pretty comfortable we can take these amounts of monies out of. And we've tried to provide some footnotes of explanation as to what has caused the shortfall. Now, you will remain with a deficit of $128,000 plus or minus on snow and ice. There is the potential to have a shortfall yet in vehicle maintenance. You'll recall that was backfilled with $10,000 after an expense of $20,000 it had to absorb. And you're gonna have some unknowns. We think we're okay on unemployment comp. We think we're okay on the medical, but you never know. Somebody could walk in tomorrow and sign up for a family plan if they've had something happen with their spouse's employer. So these are the ones we'd like to go to town meeting with, and then deal with the balance through the statutory authority and transfer process. Be happy to answer any questions on these as you look them over in the coming few days.
So I do have a couple of questions, and I would prefer to not send them to you email, but ask them publicly.
Sure.
So it has been, last year, people brought up at the last meeting, whether it be the advisory committee or the board, I understand that the Board of Selectmen have control of the warrant, but last year, I wanted to submit a bylaw change, and my email never got to Mr. Marco on time, and he said that he could put it on there, and at the town meeting, I withdrew because I didn't want to do something wrong. So at the moment, where does it say that the Board of Selectmen can put warrant articles on whenever they want to? I couldn't find anything. So the warrant closes, but the Board of Selectmen can continue to just add and add and add, like whatever. My largest concern is because we haven't had any meetings on this, John, of the economic, development committee, it's going before annual town meetings, no one's ever really watched anything on TV, and I think it would be better served if we did it at the fall town meeting, where we could have some, public discussions about that and not feel like rushed. But again, there are other things that were added, some things had placeholders, and we said that, but I could not find anywhere where it said that we can just keep adding stuff, and again, I did withdraw, from reading, the motion that I wanted to put forth last year, and, I wanna make sure that, we're doing things, correctly as well, so, that's really my question.
Well, the statute gives the select board the control of the warrant, subject to any local ordinances. This opening and closing of a warrant is a bit of a fiction across the state. There are numerous municipalities that never officially, quote, open a warrant, because technically it is open all year round. If there's an item that these folks want for the coming fall town meeting, or even next year's, they can petition that at any point in time, put it on file with the town clerk's office, and it sits there. You have adopted a local bylaw, which, as I understand it, was essentially to become a notice to the general public and to provide them with sufficient time to file any warrant articles. Some towns that then say, okay, fine, so we've done that opening and closing for the general public, we've made that notice, but we will add internal items, staff items, board items. Some towns will do it by saying, okay, we'll close the warrant, open the warrant long enough to accept these new items and then close it. I think that's a little bit cute. You know, theoretically, I think that if you can get the departments to be a little bit more understanding of the written instructions sent to them, this should all be here on a given date, and, you know, at worst, have some placeholders. And we have some departments that either refuse to submit their budgets, or, you know, just didn't do it. So, you know, I think that if you've got some that you're very concerned about, have not had a lot of public exposure, that, you know, and they are potentially controversial, or you think you need some more time, just to get the good word out and to explain what's going on, to have those discussions, it absolutely makes sense to consider holding them to the fall. That's the judgment of this board.
So it's not really, you know, when I looked at it, it's a committee who has not come before the board. We've not had like any, like, you know, meeting notes or anything like that. So just my concern is, it's an amazing thing to happen. We ask for, you know, we can only have so many services if we don't have enough revenue stream coming in. So I'm hoping that that's what's happening, and that's wonderful, but I think that the public needs to hear exactly more of what's happening, how that's gonna happen. I mean, again, I think I had asked you at the last meeting, you know, is there a cost to do tax returns? Is there a, you know, the people should know that. So I think, you know, that's really being submitted on behalf of a committee that, you know, this board hasn't heard from. So that's really my only, the other questions I had asked you before. So that's my only concern is that, that's it.
Okay, and just so we're all on the same page, those were placeholders until Mr. Eaton, I believe, sent you those, because I didn't have nothing to do with that, just.
Well, whoever is the chair of that
Mr.
committee
Eaton.
has still never come before our board.
He's coming on the 24th.
Right, but our meeting is within 20 days of that, and the, you know, I mean, the people who come are not all representative of the entire community, and that's why we have them, you know, in public, and then just have to go to a meeting. There might be more questions, there might be more, you know, involvement, there might be, that's just my concern. I mean, the board can vote, you know.
Well, any EBIC, it's not gonna hurt the town in any way, from what I can see. I mean, but again, I'm just a member, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think the economic development is good, and we definitely need it, and we need to do whatever it is we need to do to encourage that. I have a little bit of concern with the one that talks about the fast permitting.
Which one talking about?
Let's see, it's the one. Must be streamlining the permitting, Article
Yep.
23.
Mm-hmm.
That one has real concern to me that there's potential for other developers to come in and potentially abuse this. And, you know, what's the impact on, you know, fees and things? Again, we've just had no discussion on this and no information at all. So, you know, of the three, that one is the most concerning to me because I think there's room for abuse there. The other ones, the 21, you know, that one, that makes sense. I don't really have any big issues with that, other than the funding. Are we going to only be funding that through grants, or are we gonna also, at some point in time, expect taxation money to fund that?
Grants.
Well, today, but is that gonna be the case 3 years from now? You know, and, let's see. On the incentive program, what is the checks and balance to make sure, I mean, who's gonna be able to offer these tax incentives, or what other kinds of incentives are gonna be given? I mean, is anybody gonna have to approve that? Or is this committee got carte blanche authority to offer whatever they wanna offer in, you know?
These are all great
Tax
questions,
things, so,
and I don't have all the
Again,
answers.
yeah, but again, that's why I think if we have, you know, the discussion and have, you know, time to get public input and things, it would be, you know, more helpful than to just throw them into a warrant at the last minute.
So, yeah, I'll take it. Yes.
I would like to see the Article 21, the creation of the corporation. I would like to see that passed. I think Doug is right on though about, although I don't see a lot of problems with it, I think the problem is that we need to get the message out there first, because it.
Because the people don't know, they
People
won't
don't know,
understand.
and there's a lot of things about the TIF, the tax increment financing that,
But the TIF is very important.
it is
for
very
all
important.
communities.
But I think people have to understand what it is.
Okay, I understand.
Because it is a break on their property, on their local property tax.
Right.
Yeah, you know, John's exactly right. I'm not really against it. I just don't think we have enough information to present it at a town meeting.
Understood. Okay. So how do you want to play this out? Do you want, are we voting for each article?
I-
or-
I'm not asking you to vote tonight. What I'm asking to do is to walk through, ask me
Okay.
any questions about wording.
All right,
Do
we
you
go-
want to relocate something? Do you want to ask me to remove it? Because I need to get what purports to be the final cleaned up version to town council. He's had the first two drafts. But I need to get him what purports to be the final cleanup, so he can, you know, really kind of get into it with me. I will just tell you that 21, which I believe is the establishment
It
of
is.
the EDIC, I did advise Mr. Eaton that statute no longer requires that be done at town meeting. There may be good political reasons to do it.
Right.
There's also bad political karma of submitting things to town meeting that don't need to be there. Because they start to get a perception that,
Right.
you know, more things should come there. So that's just a balance of the way you want to do things.
So basically what Mr. Tenzini is saying is, based on the new statute change, the Board of Selectmen or the body can actually vote for the EDIC. It doesn't need to go to town floor for the townspeople to vote for it. What I said was, I would like to go to town floor. I think the board that we met this morning, we're in consensus that should go to the floor, so that people, if they have questions, and obviously Mr. Eaton will be there on the floor to answer any questions concerning this, along with other board members. For at least the development piece. For the TIF, I think the TIF definitely, for people to understand what that is, how it works, how it operates, how it entices businesses to come here, to hopefully establish themselves. I'm not talking businesses like somebody building homes. That's where you're not gonna get any breaks on that stuff. But I'm talking like big business, like a Walmart or a Home Depot or a Lowe's or a Wegmans or something along those lines. Some big corporation to come here and hopefully take over, exit 22 for us. That's what we're hoping to entice, not just through us. With the EDIC, this goes to Boston, and then we start advertising our values and our property.
And that's, we have 30 some odd articles to get through. Town meeting has been contentious for the past couple of years.
But not this year.
There are some controversial articles here. I just, you're just briefly explaining that now, and I would have more questions, and I would prefer to just have some different kind of forums. This is important to our community,
It is.
very, and we've talked about this for so long, and then to all of a sudden say, 20 days or 30 days before a meeting, I would like to see more discussion, and I would prefer to see it at the fall town meeting, and for people to come before the board, and other people can come and be a PowerPoint presentation, and it's just, I don't know if this is the actual place to do it. Fall town meeting is usually like a few articles, transfers, what are we gonna do with free cash, and it might be a more appropriate time to do that when we've had more discussion come before the board. And if we don't have to put an article before the town, we're not trying to hide anything, but that we shouldn't do it. We should put the correct articles before the board and not just to, I don't know, I don't know if that's the first opportunity that people, depending on how long the town meeting goes on, people are tired and they wanna go home, and that's not really gonna be a positive impact, like what your committee's looking to make, and that's amazing. So I just,
No, I understand. Let's
You
go,
know?
let's go to page 2 and make sure Article 1 is okay, which is the 2017 operating budget amendments.
And this sheet, right?
Yes.
Article 2 is the consent agenda. I think we've been through that.
Yep.
I had a question on the Article 1.
Yes, yes, sir.
I know that the town vehicle maintenance came to this committee because they needed funds, and they had requested more, the department had requested more than what the total request was put in, and it was the understanding that that should get them through to town meeting, the amount that the actual request was for.
Mhm.
If that was only to get them through to town meeting, why do we not see any monies going into that fund when the department head was saying that there was a lot of things that they wouldn't be able to do without that to the end of the year? Wouldn't that make sense for that to be going to town meeting?
Well, are they in a shortfall right now?
They're not. They have
That's
about-
why it's not going.
They have
What would
about
happen is-
12.5 left. They can get past town meeting. We have the snow and ice. We may in fact have to deal with vehicle maintenance through
At the end of the year,
uh,
movements.
the statutory use
I
of
guess
the
I'm just saying that if
transfer.
we think that it was going to be needed, wouldn't it make sense to do that at town meetings so that townspeople know it, rather than do all these? I know we can do it through statutory thing at the end of the year, but if we really know it's gonna be short, it would seem to me like that would
But I can't project how much it's gonna be short, though. I mean, do we put another 10 grand in there? Do we put another 5,000 in there? I mean, I don't know. I don't have those, I mean, I can't be that clairvoyant, so I don't know.
just a question, thank
We
you.
No,
need-
that's a
we
good
need-
question.
We need them to remain on starvation rations.
Right.
We need all the departments to continue to remain to the best we can on starvation rations.
Absolutely.
Because between snow and ice and unknowns, you have an extremely large deficit. And we're trying to really kind of hold the dollars as close as we can. Because I'm not convinced you're going to have enough internal dollars to solve that snow and ice deficit.
Understood. Yes, Julie?
My question
Thank
is, you're transferring a lot of money, well, 11,000, I think, from town vehicle fuel account to cover shortages in other accounts.
Mm-hmm.
How much is gonna be left in town fuel?
There's like 44,000 right now.
Yeah, it's based,
What does
right,
it-
there was enough to sustain all the way till 1 July or 30 June.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable.
That was a good question, thank you.
I mean, and what we wanna try to avoid doing is transfer money in and then around July 1, start looking at how we start trying to get it right back out. Just don't transfer it in the first place.
Any other questions with Article 1?
This is a big improvement over last year's transfer.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What, the 63, I think it was?
Oh, yeah.
Article 2.
I missed the question.
No,
I'm
all the
sorry.
transfers we had last year, it was like a.
142 of, no.
No, it's like
You-
60.
You may still have them, but you'll have them in this room as opposed to
Right,
when you have a better handle on it.
right.
You know, on June 25, we can give you a lot tighter
This is Article
view of the
1.
numbers than we possibly could today.
Article 2, consent agenda, I think we're all set with that?
On the revolving accounts,
Yep.
it does say
What are you looking at?
revolving funds, C, Article 2,
Yep.
C.
Yeah, I got you.
Says, as illustrated below. Now, illustrated, does that mean this could change by the time we get to town meeting floor?
No, that's the new account that's being brought forward, the new accounts being
Just the
brought forward.
word illustrated
Yep.
sounds like it's giving, it doesn't
Illustrated
like
meaning
it's
it's the diagram below, man.
written in stone, but it is written in stone.
It is written in stone.
On this one, it is written in stone, there's a place where it isn't, I can change the word
No,
illustrated here.
that's the illustration
something
below
else.
is the illustration of the diagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe, you have a question?
Yeah, the total amount of
Yes.
revolving accounts. So we have these three here, and we're gonna create another one in Article 3.
We're gonna create two more.
Two more.
Two more? Okay. Oh, wiring inspector too.
Yes.
Okay. I believe that there's a limit on the total amount that we can have in revolving funds.
The total amount of money in the account,
Yes.
yes, you're right.
So are we within that?
Yes,
Oh, God.
absolutely,
yes.
absolutely. Another great question. Okay,
Carter likes to write in the King James Version. I like it, just saying. Illustrated. Could use the word shown. Sorry.
okay,
I didn't bug you today. See, we do think alike. I like illustrated.
okay, authorization, appropriate authorization to use the chapter 90 monies. Authority board selectmen, grant funding. Article 4, establish revolving funds to pay wire inspector. Any questions with that?
What is, oh, okay, sorry, so it's gonna be 12,500 is the maximum that can
Max.
go in
Yep.
there, and, okay.
So you've lost the revenue, but you've also lost the expense.
Mhm.
Simple
Yep.
double entry accounting.
Article 5, set the salary of elected town officials.
Could I remind you to put commas in when writing money? I know last year we had a report from a department,
Right here,
and
12,500.
it just makes
It
it
looks like
easier to read,
125.
less
The,
chance.
page 4,
Sure.
up top.
Was that
Less
12.5?
chance of misunderstanding.
Okay. So Board of Selectmen and all others are 0, so we get $0 for this? Right?
But you get a set of war stories that will last you a lifetime.
You know, that is so true. That is so true. I do, I like this. It's a great job. Okay, Article 7. Amend prior articles, senior tax work program. Obviously, we had to do that because of the increasing salary, the minimum wage.
Oh, salary.
Well, minimum wage, excuse me.
Did we skip 6?
You know.
We-
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I did, I'm sorry, I skipped 6. Article 6, adopt
The right
personal
one.
property exemption.
One we got tonight.
Yeah, how come you don't have lines to yours? How come I do?
I have lines to mine.
Oh, never mind, sorry, I shouldn't be copying off of other people's homework.
Look at your own paper.
I was, but Doug was questioning, I'm like, what, do you have a different paper than I do?
Oh my.
Carter likes to slide stuff.
I have to separate you two. Article 6, property exemption, where are we now? Article 7?
On Article 6, we did give you a memo from the Board of Assessors
Yep.
on the cash revenue that's lost. That gets shifted to the real estate, and I think they estimated the impact on the tax rate to be somewheres on the order of 1 penny.
Can we put this memo out on the website, because several people have asked me what this means?
Sure.
Like, so just, this really explains like the vote of the assessors and, you know, where that stands, so if we don't mind doing that.
Yeah, we should probably put some comment that it relates to Article 6.
If we could add something to that, yeah, thanks, Doug.
Yes, Kelly?
I just have a question. I may have an older copy of the warrant, but on the setting of the salaries of the election, town officials, is the moderator 280 still there?
No.
No.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure.
I may have missed her in the distribution of
Okay.
those.
I think he would fall into all others.
All other, that's weird.
0.
Yes, that was one of the budget changes.
All right,
Like the rest of us.
okay.
We are. Okay, we go with Article 6, Article 7. Again, that's about the minimum wage. Article 8, term of the town clerk. As Mr. Tenzi illustrated last meeting, the word of the day. That's so the town clerk doesn't, is not renewed prior to the ATM. It would be after the ATM.
It's at the end of the fiscal
After the end
year,
of the fiscal year, which
because
would be
there's a
after the
lot to do after
Right.
that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that makes good sense.
Article 9, amend bylaws advisory committee.
And I believe they were going to provide you an answer tonight as to whether or not they were
Is the chairman,
in agreement with this change.
is the chairman in agreement with this, with the change? Minus, you wanted to add something, I believe?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
On Article 9, as far as changing the advisory committee, we spoke about this at our meeting earlier, and we voted, we would support this, except we would like to retain a member of the advisory committee to serve on capital planning. One of the things that came up was the fact that over the course of maybe a couple of years or farther back, there's not been a quorum, but two of the consistent showing up members of capital planning has been a member from the Board of Selectmen, Doug Morrison, and whoever the committee voted to appoint to it. Whether it was Kate Fulton, Julie Farrell, whomever, Will Spring, they were always there.
Next one, but
They
I
always
might
showed
be
up.
losing if you don't have it.
And
You don't wanna do that.
we,
But it's in the
I
next
said,
one.
is, we voted to support this, and we think it's a good article, with the exception of eliminating a member of the advisory committee from capital planning.
Okay, yes,
Well, Mr. Chairman, the reason that it was struck, and let me first say that they do remain on the capital planning, because if you
It's
look
in the
at
next.
Article 11, and turn to page 6, the membership is 5 members, 1 from the Board of Selectmen, 1 from the advisory appropriately renamed committee, as opposed to the current bylaw.
Doesn't say
And you're really better off, in my opinion, to say advisory committee members can be any place a bylaw puts them. Because if you start inserting in here which ones you want them on, and then it's someplace else, it gets confusing if they need to be added,
understood.
okay?
Does that make
So
sense?
this accommodates any bylaw if it says we want somebody there, because if you put that they can be upon the capital plan, and any committee for which membership is specifically provided, then the members of the advisory, and you forget to include them someplace else, it really starts can get mixed pretty easily.
Understood.
But I want to assure the advisory committee that the intent, in all of my conversations with Doug, has been to make sure they remain eligible for membership on the capital committee. I think that's a very important.
Excellent, yes.
Would it be possible then to reverse the order of those articles so that when we get to the amendment of the bylaws of the advisory committee, we'll know if that has in fact been accepted in the bylaws? You know, because let's say that Article 9 passes, but the other article, was it Article 11, does not pass. You know, what effect would that have? You know?
But the capital planning bylaw that's in place today would then still be in place.
Which
and
has
it
them on it.
specifically-
Has
And it
them on it.
specifically calls
So,
out the advisory
That's
committee.
very easy to, I mean, bylaws should be grouped, in my opinion, should be grouped together, but, you know, putting 11 in front of 9 and just renumbering, that's not an issue.
I think it's already in place already, that we're just,
I see what you're saying, so it is there, so whether they voted up or down,
Right.
there would still
Doesn't
be
really
that.
matter.
But if the, you know, the
No,
members of the advisory committee would feel more comfortable with it coming ahead of the, you know, amendment to the bylaws, I don't.
I'd withdraw that unless someone else here wanted to see it that way.
I see your point, Gordon, you know, because this is, you know, it does spell it out, but we're changing the capital planning bylaw a little bit, and then it just makes it a little bit clearer that you are still there, and then when you vote on the bylaw to fix that, then it's, you know, I mean, Carter can just renumber it. Right?
Right?
Carter can just renumber it.
Well, yeah, Carter will
Waves
tell
his
Holly to
wand and
renumber it,
out.
it's pretty
Yeah.
easy.
My magic stick.
I've been told I'm a good delegator.
Jeff, did you get that?
I'm just saying, I see Gordon's point.
Jeff, did you get it?
I did.
You okay with that?
It's not up to me, but if the committee's up to, fine with it, then.
Yeah, I'd like to keep those two articles together, not separated by the revolving fund article.
And I think that's a good idea too. So what I'll do, Mr. Chairman, is I will make Article 11, Article 9.
Mm-hmm.
We can lead with that.
At 10.
we can make what's currently Article 9, Article 10. And Article 10, the current Article 10,
Be 11.
remains a placeholder based upon some issues going on with the statute, would become 11.
Okay.
And that way, the capital and the advisory are back to back.
Okay.
Do you see how easy that was?
This has just been, you know, a walk in the clouds.
All right, moving on. Let's see, so obviously,
Doug, you were gonna ask Julie to look at this, and you're comfortable?
Yep, we looked at it, and,
Article 10,
the current one.
the current 10, revolving funds bylaw, placeholder, okay.
There's a change in the statute which DOR is still working out. They're looking for some curative language. Hopefully we'll pass the legislature quickly. And I'm just hopeful Paul can give us some guidance.
Okay,
Because otherwise I have to quickly write a bylaw for every single
one,
revolving fund.
I got you,
It has to be a separate one for each.
I got you. All right, be working weekends. Article 11, capital planning bylaw,
Yeah, so we're putting this one in to basically change the makeup of the capital planning committee, since we've had such a difficult time, getting a quorum. So this bylaw would propose that it's one member from the Board of Selectmen, one member from the advisory committee, the town treasurer, and 2 members at large. And then the town administrator would be an ex officio non-voting member unless we needed the town administrator to make up a quorum. And if in fact that's to transpire, there would be, in the minutes would clearly state why
I got you.
the town administrator was given voting privileges at that meeting. That's the general,
Still have 2 people if 2 members don't show up.
I got it.
that's the general change.
No, that's good.
Is ex officio, and so is that. Does that mean non-voting member?
Now, these are voting members, the town
Why
treasurer,
does that say
collector,
ex officio?
because they're there by the virtue of their office, so we can
Oh.
take that out if you want.
Well, it just was confusing, like we're used,
Yeah.
okay, so.
Yeah, 'cause-
Ex officio simply means from the office,
From the, that's,
and
Okay,
ex
but-
officio
this-
members
this
can be
is-
voting,
right.
and they can
Okay,
be
fine, sorry.
non-voting. But we can certainly
Please
take it out.
don't. We're good. Nope, I
I
got it.
mean, I think most people interpret, when they see ex officio, they interpret non-voting,
Oh,
even though
yeah,
it's
see,
not.
so I'm confused.
So, I think
Here you
that,
spelled it out, but here you, so I guess,
if that-
can we just like
yeah,
not
let's just,
strike
let me
that?
take that out, Doug, if you're agreeable
Yeah, I'm
with that.
agreeable
I
with
think
that.
that that's,
a
yep.
good move.
Leave it to the slogan.
No, this is America,
No,
this is what we do.
I think it's right, I think that's how most people
American democracy at
interpret
work, right here. Take that out. Okay, Article 12, Community Preservation Fund, providing storage for assessors records preservation.
Can I ask like a really, maybe silly question,
There's
but
no
I've
silly
been thinking about this for a while. So this was once a school building,
Mm-hmm.
and now we obviously have all these offices here with, these, file cabinets are not like they're fairly heavy. So we have like all this, is there like a weight limit? What, I'm asking, cause you bring those in here and someday I hope that I'm not gonna fall through the floor.
Well, I think
yes, there is a weight limit. Dead load, live load limits are very different. And, you just don't wanna ask the structural engineer to do the analysis.
You don't want it?
no.
Well, I don't wanna be a dead load.
Instead
Thanks, I'd
of,
rather be a live load. I'm just saying that if it's building up, was it meant to handle all these file cabinets with a lot of, paper's heavy, I've been doing a lot of copying.
You know,
I can say that when we were working on getting this building ready to go, Larry Brandt was the building inspector, and he did come over and did a lot of inspection under the flooring, looked at how it was shored and that thing, and he said that we won't have an issue. Again, I don't know how heavy these are,
This
but
building will
he
be
said
here
based
long
on-
after you and I are
yeah, he
gone.
said, based on
I
if we
hope so,
put
though.
all of the furniture that the town had in here, we still wouldn't have an issue.
Alrighty, good,
So.
just saying.
Diane, if it collapses, I'll get you.
Selectwoman Brooks, let's just leave her. Thanks anyway, chief.
That's Julie.
We discussed this at capital planning, we had a quorum last night, first time in years.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. The number that we looked at was, I believe, 4,000, not 12.
Yeah, I looked at the thing again today, and up
Yeah.
in the corner, it says that their units are 4,000, and then a number of units is full.
Oh, okay, all right.
So it's 12.
Yeah, so it's 12, yeah.
Well, no.
You're doing your job.
That's, no, that's good
Wait,
catch.
there's 4 units
Yeah,
at 4,000, that's 16.
Yeah, that's not.
Three units
Three.
at 4,000.
3 units of 4,000.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
I went to school at Narragansett.
That accounts for it.
Yeah, I missed the little block with the number of units.
All right.
Okay, moving on to 12, no, we already talked about that one. 13, the scholarship fund, which is on a separate article. Any questions on that? No?
Not specifically on that, but at least a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I asked about, we have this, one of the trusts is called the Masonic Funds, and the verbiage of that trust is that that trust is to be used for scholarship funding. And I know the Board of Selectmen are who oversee all of the trust funds, but in my opinion, I think that trust fund ought to be entrusted to the scholarship committee. They're the ones that distribute scholarships, and that's what the purpose of that fund is. To my knowledge, we haven't taken any money from that fund in Lord knows how long.
We talking
So-
Masonic one?
The Masonic, yep. I'm pretty sure the wording of that is that fund is to be used for scholarships.
Okay.
So I just wanted to put that back out on the table, that, that's something that we ought to look at and discuss.
Okay, Cal, would you have some more to add on that?
Yes, I have a list of the trust funds that I'm working through now. You know, that was one of the projects I've worked on over, because the auditors have asked. And that Masonic Fund, I did speak with John Brooks about that,
Yeah.
letting him know what was there. And we did talk about that, about the select board, you know, if we could work to that, get to that point where the select board would give them those funds to be able to work on scholarships.
So would that be a transfer potential?
No, it would just be they would use those funds, but it would have to be at the discretion of the Board of Selectmen.
Yes. I mean, that's the way I've seen it, how it worked,
Yeah.
depending upon the wording of the gift.
Right.
You
That's-
can't
that
just
was
say
my-
to them, but what you could say is, please, annually, give us your recommendations, and then the board would have it as a document on a regular business meeting, and vote yea or nay.
Okay, all right.
So they would vet the candidates and then give you the list of candidates that they feel would be, you know, have earned the scholarship and would benefit from those funds.
Okay. Okay. I have more questions on that, but I'll.
I'd like to see that vetting process because, you know, the Masonic and the Templeton Scholarship Fund may have different criteria.
Yes.
I sit on a scholarship committee for the Board of Realtors, and there's one for, you know, Shattuck, and then there's a different one that only realtors can apply for, and the criteria is slightly different, and we, as real estate agents and board members, aren't allowed to see that, but we have to give, you know, we have to give it, so I just would like to see that vetting process. Like, is there specifics that are said in the Masonic thing, so if we're
And
gonna
we'll
do
work
that, it's
towards
not,
that.
it shouldn't just be carte blanche.
Right,
Right.
we'll work
That's all.
Yeah, and, you know, and being a Mason myself, I would like to see that,
Okay.
my fellow brothers donating. Yes.
Can you explain who's eligible for these?
I'm sorry?
Does it have to be a student of the Narragansett School District, or
I
do
don't-
we know?
Depends on how it's
Either
written.
one of
That's what
those?
we would have to look
Yeah,
at.
I-
We have
I
to
think
look
that's what
through
we'd
that?
have to look
I
at,
believe,
yeah,
I believe it is, but
probably.
Doesn't say.
they, I know in order for us to pay them, it's like a reimbursement process, so
Yeah,
they
they
have
have
to
to
take the
actually-
class and provide us with their transcripts from the class and all of that before they receive the scholarship funding.
Right.
Yeah, that's just for this scholarship, not the Masonic. one.
Right, correct,
The Masonic one's
yes.
totally separate, that's not even inputted in yet.
Correct.
Okay, I got you. All right, Article 14, property value account.
This is the reval. Which one is this one? The property valuation account.
Basically, for the updates and the revals, this is the way you all do it.
Any questions with that? Article 15, community preservation, community funding. Chapter 44, Mass General Law. Any questions with that? Article 15. Okay, moving on to Article 16. Create a cable access enterprise fund, which, again, we talked in length about, which goes along with Article 17, which is the Templeton Cable TV Committee budget. Yes, Julie?
Is this committee elected or appointed?
It would be still appointed by the Board of Selectmen. The next question, who has access to the enterprise funds? Would it still have to go through the same process?
Right, it would be just like the sewer, it's just that their funds are totally separate than, currently they're being held as like grant funds, so they
Mhm.
get the money. The Massachusetts, they've changed the law
Yep.
beginning this fiscal year, that if we continue to handle it that way, the money that's there at the end of the year would close to the general fund. So in order for them to keep their money together, they have to have an enterprise fund,
Understood.
so that it's separated.
Great, thank you. Any questions with 16 or 17, excuse me? Yes,
Are these the people that are on the committee, are they getting paid? Are they paid?
the cable commission?
Yeah.
I believe they're paid, yes.
Yes, out of these funds.
They get a
Yeah,
stipend?
they're out of
They get a
these
stipend
funds.
out of the enterprise, out of their fund they have now, which will then be turned into an enterprise fund, yes. Just like the sewer commissioners get paid, light and water commissioners get paid.
Who approves their stipend?
I would believe it would be the Board of Selectmen
Town administrator.
or town administrator.
What do
No,
they
no,
make,
we
you
don't.
know?
It would be the Board of Selectmen.
Zero.
That,
He's a cheap son of a gun.
no, that would have been through us, I believe,
It's,
right?
it's the select board, and I will get you, I don't know if we provided you with the detailed breakdown of their budget. Certainly for next year, I would ask them to, I would suggest that you ask
We've
them
seen their
to
stuff
We have, 'cause
before.
we actually
fill
Mr.
out their budget
raise
in the
to
same
one of
Castle
format
has
as
brought,
this.
we get, yes,
We
we've
gave a
seen
raise to
some
one of
of,
his
yeah.
kids, yeah.
All right, it
Yep.
probably was,
May not be in the book, I've seen it.
We have seen it.
I've seen it.
Yeah, we've gone through it. But it gets paid out of their funds, not
right.
through the town.
Well, if we didn't include it in the book, I'll take a quick squint tomorrow,
Okay,
and we'll get it out to y'all.
was that your question, Beth? Any other questions? Okay, moving on to, Article 19, ratification of previous authorization of sewer bond.
Well, 18 is the
Yeah, we
department
skipped
budget.
18.
I hate when I do that. I'm sorry, I skipped over 18, sewer department budget. And their enterprise fund. Any questions with 18? Any questions with 19, the ratification?
Nope, Carter must have one.
Yes.
I just wanted to share something with you on the construct of the sewer department budget. As part of the review of finances with DOR, where you appropriate all of the debt and all of the benefits and everything else, and then await reimbursement, the deputy commissioner's reaction was, really? You're still doing it that way?
Naturally.
And we proudly defended it, right, Kelly? And he suggested the audit report will reflect this. We've made this recommendation before, that you change the manner in which you make some of these appropriations, because essentially you're double appropriating right now. You're appropriating it all in the general fund, driving that number up,
Right.
then you're appropriating the reimbursement over in the department. And then we, the general fund, are awaiting reimbursement because we pay it all up front. So I do think that, once you get past town meeting, and everybody goes, thank God we're done. Actually, no, there's lots of work
More to
to
do.
do.
I got you.
So this is something that you're gonna wanna look for, in the management letter and, try to make some progress on over the coming year. This is really not good workflow or best practice, the way it's currently designed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Article 20,
No, I have something to say. You need
Yes.
to write out in words the amount, 2,300,000. And the other thing I would like to mention is I hope that on the day of the town meeting, that these warrants are printed out double-sided. Saves
oh, to save paper, yes, of course.
Thank you.
So you want it written out, and then you want in quotations the
Yeah,
amount?
you should have both in case somebody misreads it.
I think some places you did write it out, in
Yeah.
other places, just not yet.
Well, you should write it out. I've written.
In some places he has written it out, in other
All right.
places it's just,
It should be. I
Okay.
this-
Right.
On 19, it's not
I used
Got
to
it.
write out town warrants.
Thank you.
I did receive late this afternoon, from, bond counsel, the curative, wording on, 20, so we'll have that for you for Monday night.
Thank
It
you so
essentially parallels 19.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
I have a question on the sewer department.
Mm-hmm.
Every other department, you can have money paid from your checking account into the account. But the sewer department does not accept that. You have to go up and pay it with a check. Why?
No, they have a new program now, it's online, they have an online program now with the sewer department, you can pay it online, yes, ma'am.
Well, nobody told me that.
We're trying,
been there a
we're
couple
trying to
of
bring the
months.
town up to the 20th
Just
century.
started.
It just
It
started?
did,
So,
within
yeah.
the last 60 days?
Yeah, a couple months,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
The last billing.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
you can do online banking too.
Yeah, I do everything online, and I hadn't been able to do the sewer.
Yep.
I always had to bring a checkup or cash or whatever. And I said, why is this department obsolete?
Right,
I
no,
think
they're-
we're catching up
They're
though.
catching up.
Okay, thank
Moving-
you.
Again, moving in the right direction.
Okay.
Going forward. Article 21, creation of the economic development district, like we just discussed. I know some,
Yeah, just back to 19, one quick second.
19, quick second, yep.
Yep, we did talk, Kent came to the capital planning committee meeting last night, so we
Yeah.
did review this project, with them, so it, it does meet the
I,
capital
I
planning.
think we actually
John, I
have all the
can't- I can't
projects.
hear it.
Oh, I'm sorry, hold 1 second. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
My apologies.
No, go ahead, there was some.
I do think that we got all the departments in front of the capital committee, that
Um,
have appropriations.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'll send we'll send a memo report to you.
Great.
Yeah.
Again, moving forward. Article 21,
Okay, so, I'm sorry, John, but I'm gonna make a motion to, take Article 21, 22, and 23 off the warrant and to put them, to have them for the fall town meeting.
okay, I have a motion, I have a second.
I'll second that, yeah.
Okay, I have a motion, and a second. I have a discussion concerning the EDIC.
I just think we really need more discussion in public.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? I see none. John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes,
Doug?
Yes,
And I vote no.
I didn't hear the other, votes.
Yes.
Perhaps I should, so they're, okay.
I still want, if we can still have Mr. Eaton do an explanation on the 24th, that'll be great.
Yep.
And then we can explain to him, again, based on the information that we've had tonight, why the select board has voted to take those off. And what impact that's gonna have.
Those will be going on fall, though,
Yep.
correct?
Fall, right, I
Potentially.
said fall.
Potentially. Article 23? Adopt streamlined permitting statute.
Yep, that was 21, 22, and 23, so
Oh,
we're
yeah.
at 24.
I'm up to 24, excuse me. It's getting late. 24, 2018 operating budget.
We'll confirm the number, we'll make sure that we go through the warrant to make sure everything has words and numbers.
You got it. Article 25.
I think we need to really plan a good chunk of time in the town meeting for this, because we're gonna really need to explain, I think, to the people how we're doing the revenue, and that it's not, net budgeting anymore, it's gross budgeting. And, I mean, I think that's gonna be, it's gonna be just not common, it's not the way we've done it before.
Right.
So I think there's gonna be a lot of questions, a lot of confusion, and I think we need to have be prepared to have a good presentation as to this is better and why.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I think too, when you, to go along with that, I think we've tried to do some of this before, and as much as I don't wanna have 8 million articles, if somebody said, well, yes to this and yes to that, but no to, this transfer, now you have to rewrite the whole budget, and, that's all. Not saying that anybody would, maybe not, but that's the only thing that's confusing about that, so.
Well, unless you're prepared to walk, I'm sorry, Doug, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good budget, and I
Yeah.
think people will understand it. I
Just we
just think
have
we have
to-
to be ready to explain it, because it's so much different than what we've done in the past.
Excellent. Yes,
I kinda
Joyce.
wanted to talk about at the end,
sorry.
like, how we're going to really, do, town meeting this year, cause I would like to learn from the past, but I'll save all those comments for the end.
Okay, yes.
Well, my question kind of goes to what you were alluding to, is what are people at town meeting going to have as far as the budget goes?
Yeah, I
What
would
type
like
of
to have that
documentation?
discussion at the end, like, let's get through all the articles and
Okay.
then kinda say,
All right.
how that, I just think it would be easier rather than picking and choosing, but yeah, we need to be
Okay.
clear.
We're at now.
25.
Oh, 25.
That's a,
Placeholder.
is it still a placeholder or not?
I would say at this point, it's not a placeholder
Okay.
unless you, you didn't actually vote on the capital part, but, if you don't tell me to remove it tonight, I'm gonna consider that
Yep.
that's
It's in
tacit
our budget. Yeah,
approval.
we should be, we should be doing
Up
that.
until the actual vote on
Is
the
this
night.
lease to purchase?
It is,
Then it needs to say that.
it does.
Lease to purchase. Lease to exceed 40.
I don't-
So you lease it for 4 years. You can buy it out at any time you want. You can buy it out for $1 at the end. And you can break the lease every year, for lack of appropriation.
Doesn't say anything about purchase.
Buyout option at the conclusion of lot 7.
So it just says, yeah, and a $1 buyout upon the conclusion of the lease schedule.
I can change the word buyout to purchase if people feel more comfortable with that.
How is the lease written? I don't, is it written lease purchase, is it written buyout? I think it should be, similar language legally, for legalities. What is it written? Remember I talked to you about agreement,
It's lease to buyout.
contract.
It's
If
le- I
if it's
remember
called
reading
lease to buyout, then that's how it should be, worded. It
Does
just
it say
has to be
lease?
explained it's a lease purchase, but I think we should use the correct language.
Yeah, I mean, we have the option to purchase, I mean, we
Well,
don't
it's
have
still
to
called a
purchase.
buyout.
But
But at any rate.
Right.
I can make it whatever y'all comfortable
Excellent.
with, because the
Dollar
leasing
buyout's
company
good.
are gonna look at this and
Dollar
say,
That's a
okay.
typical term used in.
Dollar buyout's
in
good for me.
leases.
Article
What-
20,
Dollar
Yep.
buyout.
Article 26, capital budget.
I do think, Mr. Chairman, when it comes to 26,
That will go back.
and the use of funding
Yep.
in the operating budget, it's very important that the board is prepared to, educate, inform, respond to the public that these have very limited purposes for which you can use these monies. And it is important, we have an audit finding, We've sat on these monies too long. There really are time limits on these, so they can't be used to buy a dump truck or do anything else. You
I
can
got you.
only use the monies for the same purpose and the same term as the original bond did, subject to a small amount you
This is
can
what's
use for
being
debt
done with it.
repayment. It's
Right,
being
this-
used
this-
towards it, yes.
Right,
Yeah, it's not being used for the dump body.
then that probably should not be on there.
Isn't the
It's-
dump body coming from,
10 of it's coming from,
what, light and water?
and 17.5 from general fund.
Okay. The A&E assistant, A&E.
Architect and engineering. You're gonna end up getting some help from somebody to get outline specifications, at least at a level that you can use for bidding purposes.
Okay.
And that's very, very low, but that also includes, advertising and the like. But,
See that?
this has been written in a manner so that if
Mhm.
the siding's 3,000 under and the roof is 3,000 over, we can slide those dollars around.
Understood.
We can't do something that isn't here.
Right.
And we need to try to do everything that is here. But if there's minor variances, we need to be able to use those dollars.
Article 27? Oh, yes, sorry, I apologize.
All right. Are we gonna make it very clear which is from taxation and which is from the bond? 252?
Well, yeah, we have to we'll make that clear.
Okay.
Or would it just be easier to have like some footnotes in here, like you've kind of done in the budget,
I could do it with some footnotes. At the end of the day, you can only use those towards, yeah, I'll add a footnote.
And again, you can write out the number, that will make it clearer.
Okay, he's got. Did you get that, Mr. Tenzini?
Yeah, we'll make sure that all the articles, except tables, have words and numbers.
Yeah, no, you don't have to have it in tables, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so this adds up to 173.5.
Could I also suggest that
I keep coming off with not
on the
172.5.
general
We'll,
operating budget that you.
Hold on, Kate, 1 second. Go ahead.
I start
we
speaking
will,
first.
once we've have a final
Okay.
vet from you all, we'll go back through and vet it again. We're starting to get
Okay.
numb.
Diane, I think the 152, 500 is from the bond for 252. The rest is from taxation, so
Right.
the amount is gonna be higher.
See, it doesn't
Okay.
show a total amount.
Right, so, okay, what was
So
your,
the total is 173.
I get 173.5.
Yeah, and we'll,
Right.
we'll
But
double
But
check.
152.5 comes from the bond, the rest, the other part will come from taxation.
Which is another
That's why I wanted a
1,000.
footnote in there.
okay, gotcha. Kate, do you have anything else to add? Ms. Bolton?
Yes, I was just going to say that on Article 24, that Scott Sawyer, I don't remember him, he wasn't counting this
24,
time.
we're going backwards in time, hold on one
Yeah,
second.
but, nobody noticed me. That's
Oh, I noticed you.
Yeah, thanks. He did a pie chart, lovely colors, vibrant colors, percent and amount for each department, each purchase.
Yeah.
For the operating budget.
Right.
And it was very clear and, and we balanced the budget, and if we didn't balance it, then he corrected it at the time.
Okay, great, thank you for your input, I appreciate it. Going to Article 28, Montechusett Regional Vocational Technical School.
No, 27.
27, excuse me, I'm going, I'm 27, Narragansett Regional School District. It's got the 4,254,487. Everything else seems, you have a question?
Oh, these numbers will be fixed though, right? It's 1,801,000. So we're just gonna update all the numbers, right?
I believe these were the March of '09 numbers, but I'll double check, yes.
And, again, little correction, and indicates when you write numbers, and says I'm a decimal point. So $254,487, it should be $54,487. Otherwise, it looks, people will assume the decimal point is in the wrong place.
Okay. You have any other questions, Diane? Thank you, Ms. Paul.
No, I can just talk to
Okay, great.
Carter.
Article 28, Montezuma Regional Vocational Technical Schools. Any questions with that? Julie, any question?
One comment.
One comment, yes.
Recently, we sent a letter of support
Oh,
for a
yes.
review of their regional agreement.
Yes.
And in a display of arrogance and disregard for the local elected officials that I've hardly ever seen, the Monty Tech School Committee just dismissed it out of hand.
I didn't hear that.
The agreement that we wrote to Mayor Hawk concerning the regionalization, Monty Tech, and.
You have to look at their
Exactly.
budgeting process?
Yes.
What
They pretty much,
Monty Tech?
yes.
Yes.
Monty Tech just essentially said, screw off.
Well,
Oh, just keep going right now.
we'll
Wow.
bring that, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thanks, John.
I'll talk to Mayor Hawk if I can. Article 29?
He's golf.
Huh?
He's golf.
He is, well, playing hockey.
29, 30, 31,
They're
and
all
32 are there by
citizens'
citizens petition.
Right.
We don't.
Okay, we have some rewrite to do.
You can always delegate that.
He does.
Oh,
Watch
I won't
out.
be here tomorrow.
You'll have a job, Diane.
I'm sorry, Beth?
Watch out, they'll give you a job.
You get paid very well.
I'm free labor.
So am I.
Thank God I'm not a child. Those child labor laws are terrible.
Any other questions?
Are we gonna revisit?
Oh,
how
so
the
can
budget-
we, yeah, so, you know that Carter's going to look at, each thing, but my question to Carter before we, finish the budget, okay, so it used to be, Mr. Markle started kind of he would have the warrant articles up on a PowerPoint, and I think that the public, needs and deserves that. I don't want to, if there's explaining that needs to be done, we as a board, should be kind of looking at this and figuring out, who might talk about that, or, starting here, then the advisory committee's recommendation. I wanna make sure too, that every article has its own, piece of paper. I don't wanna be sitting up there again, cutting and pasting, to read a warrant article, yeah. So it's a matter of how are we going to present the budget, who's going to do that, how is this all going to be spelled out, and if Julie has some other commentary, I would love to hear it.
I would like to know how the budget is going to be presented to the townspeople, what type of handouts are gonna be available.
Yeah.
And will people be able to talk about the budget line item by line item or department by department?
Well, I think the line item by line item is up to the moderator.
Well,
Well, that's true, somebody can make a motion.
right, which I did last time and it was voted in the affirmative and it never happened. So I just
Well, I mean,
would like
even
to all
before
be
you
on the
made your
same.
motion, I had gone up and asked the moderator if he would do it, but kind of said go.
I mean, I don't wanna speak out, I gotta check with, probably legal, but I believe the vote at town meeting is for the final budget number at the end. It's not really broken down by, departments. It's the final number is what the people vote on. So if it's 15 million, X amount of dollars, and that's what it is, 15 million, X amount of dollars, that's what they vote on. Now, if you wanna vote, they're not gonna vote on each department. I mean, we've never done it like that. I mean, we can have the departments up there.
Yes, we
have. Where have you been?
Yes, we have, and that's been part of the confusion. So if
That's-
if the legislative body disagrees with how a certain, I'm gonna hypothesize that we did the, community services director motion. merger, and the people on the floor, did not agree with that. They would say, I wanna, here's this, here's this no, here's this hold. It used to be, I mean, I think if, but they have the right to do that because they are the ones who actually, we are presenting the budget to them. We are not telling them,
This is it, take it or leave it.
I'm just saying, I think we tried to kind of, get away from that so that, and maybe it's good, bad, I don't really know, but the legislative body has a right to raise their hand and go, no, I have questions about X. Why did you put this money here? They do have a right to do that. And I think that might have been a little bit more confusing
I
for
see,
them.
yeah.
Cause we just kinda said we're presenting a bigger budget based on, big totals, and everybody was like, wow. And that got to be some of the confusing part too, because we couldn't discuss certain things, so to speak. So I don't know what people would wanna talk about. I mean, I'm not assuming anything, I'm just saying that is the way.
So each department gets a slide, is that what you wanna, how you wanna see this?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
That's like 17, yes.
This is your budget.
I think it would be nice to have like a PowerPoint before, a PowerPoint explanation before, saying that, the way we've been doing the budget in the past has not worked.
Yeah, like that
And
gross
so
versus
this
net.
year, this is what we've done. We've combined all these departments and
Yeah.
we've done this and
That's probably
that.
a good idea,
And
Tom.
the budget reflects this new thing, and we've also made cuts here and there. Do it more as an overview and a summary, and hopefully we won't need to go into every individual line. As long as people understand that you looked at every line, they looked at every line, and it was fully discussed.
Do you feel, Julie, that there are some specific, are you thinking like there are some specific things that people are, I'm just asking.
I think areas that I see that will be problematic and need a lot of explanation on town meeting floor will be the ambulance receipts.
Okay, now, I think if we had.
That's gonna need a ton of
So if that's really, but I think that Gail is right too, where we've done a lot of, we've made cuts, the town's not really, I think you had done some slides, right? Gross versus net. I think they're gonna wanna understand like where all that is coming from.
Before you talk.
Yes.
I mean, step one is how you want me to put the warrant together. So certainly there are some communities, and I can actually put the chart in there as I did for capital. We'll just have the departments and what the recommendation is. That's one way to do it. Others can, will say, as shown on Exhibit B, as if incorporated, in full and at length, and then it's attached. Others, frankly, do it with the report of the advisory board. I'm not a committee. I'm not sure that we're there in Kumbaya land just yet. We're going to try that, High-Wire Act.
This isn't the,
So you just tell me how you want me to put the warrant together, and then we've got 3 weeks to sort the rest of it out.
Yeah.
So if you, the thing that people can't do, certainly they could amend the amounts for different departments. They cannot increase the amount overall, the bottom line.
Because then they would have to find out where to cut the
Well,
other areas.
right.
Right.
So for instance, if I said, well, I
So would
want to
this
increase
chart be
council on
Right.
aging,
Talking about in
This
there?
is what I was gonna say. I mean, this is what we've done in the past. This is the document that
Yeah.
was at last year's town meeting. So at the very least, I think we have to provide this.
And that,
But the article
Right.
should say, we're voting the 8,219,000.
yes,
This is
So
the
we're gonna
makeup
vote
of
the
it?
one number, but
Yes.
the people
Right.
need
Does that-
that level of detail.
yes, the departments would be there, and that was the direction
well,
that
that's-
we,
no, it's just-
you all agreed early on, is we were gonna move to a department level of control. But yes, I can insert that into the budget, into the warrant.
okay.
I think that the legislative body deserves that, at least that level, and then, they would have a copy of the warrant, two-sided, and then, I mean, if you're gonna incorporate this piece in, then there wouldn't be a separate,
Nope.
like, we wouldn't have this, level anymore, cause that's really not the worksheet that you did, so.
Right, but if somebody wanted to pull out the $10,000 for merit raises,
They would have, okay, so you're, yeah, see, I don't know how to accomplish that.
See, they're not gonna be able to see that level unless we give everybody at town meeting the
Right.
entire book. They're not gonna see
Yeah.
that level. That's,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. It's-
Well, I think that, you know, the
Yeah.
town meeting can, let's say that, you know, I move to appropriate the sum of blah, 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 for the following departments, you read that. Somebody says, I heard there's 10,000 in there for raises, I don't want no stinking raises given to anybody. So I make a motion to cut the select board's budget by $10,000.
I thought we were at 0.
The selectmen, I would say, would ignore that vote at their peril.
At their peril.
We would need $10,000 or more to start advertising more for the turnover.
That's good. Cheaper rate.
It's
It wouldn't be a
what?
che- It wouldn't be a cheaper rate.
But I think we can get a warrant,
Salaries would be lower.
I think that we
No,
can,
not in some
I'm already at 0.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
Mr.
we're
Chairman,
already at
we can get a
0.
warrant that makes some sense
Yeah.
on the 26th.
Okay, great.
I will add an item to the agenda for perhaps two of you, and maybe I can get one or two from the advisory board. We can work out all the presentations, because depending upon how they put their book together, frankly, it's foolish for us to print 350 warrants while they reprint 350 recommendations. So maybe if we had two from them, two from you.
Right.
And then y'all could take a lead. I'd like to take a lead on Article 1, 2, and 3, and, you know, we could get everybody prepped. You could meet with those department heads. Because I think that when board members make those presentations, it carries a lot more weight than the guy from out of town.
Well, we
Understood.
just voted May 3rd as pre-town. So we would have recommendations after that point.
Well, I was gonna say, and I've recommended this several times, and I think some variation has happened, is you have your article, and at the bottom submitted by, whether it's recommended by the selectmen or not, whether it's recommended by the, advisory board,
Ready?
and then what vote it takes. Is it a majority, is it a 2/3 vote, is it a 9/10 vote?
That's in there.
So there are four.
That's on
It's
there.
just not
So
advisory.
those four pieces of
Yeah.
information be right underneath the article.
Yep, they're on there. The only that's not in there right now
Is
is
the
your vote.
advisory board.
That's
Okay,
right.
good.
It's not official yet.
No.
What did you say?
It's not official yet, so we can't vote on the articles.
Oh,
Correct.
no, but I'm just,
Okay.
So what was the question? Annual your your pre-town meeting's May 3rd.
Let me just say, Mr. Chairman, that if you like that idea, two folks from this board, two folks from that board working with me to, you know, kind of talk about what you want for PowerPoint and such, please don't wait till May 3rd to give me the names of those people.
I'll help you. Maybe not. Is anybody else who's like not like Cujo wanna work with?
Time really burns a lot faster than I think people are considering.
I just think that if we wanna, you know, I know that you're having your pre-town meeting, and we had tried one year to put advisory, when do we actually copy them? So we had advisory committee recommendations, but then last year, I think you had done your own and you had some explanations too, like was there a separate, it was separate
There were separate
advisory
handouts, yeah.
committee recommendations, so I think that, you know, Bob had thought that that might, or was it you, I'm sorry, I'm
was
like
Bob.
really lost. Like kind of think that those, that would maybe work differently, so they look at the warrant, then they get to look at your recommendations
Separate,
too, separately, I don't,
I don't know.
you know, it's kinda hard to just put advisory committee recommends no, but then you don't, you at least got to have your, in writing, like
Right.
people could actually sit down and read that, I liked that.
Yeah, we had like who voted what, how many yes, how many no.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know if you're interested in doing that again, at least we could have this all prepared for you to be at, pre-town, and then if we have like the two people, you
Right.
know, Julie volunteers,
Okay.
but I volunteer, so. Anyway, was there anything, I don't have to.
Oh, you can go to Freetown. Yeah, you can.
No, this is it.
Make a motion to, is everybody okay? Make a motion to
A
adjourn?
motion to adjourn. Have a second. Have a second. Any other discussion to adjournment? I see none. John?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Diane?
Yeah.
Doug? And I vote yes as well. Thank you all for coming, I appreciate it.
Oh, yes.